Good morning and thank you for joining us on Newsline. We're broadcasting live on NBT Radio Thailand FM 88 and NBT World. Today is Wednesday, September 30th, 2015 and you're with me, Surapan Lautaranarit. And welcome to today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. Let's start off with various events happening during the 70th United Nations General Assembly. Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha delivered a statement on the issue of universal health care coverage scheme, the promotion of health equality on a global context, and human security during the development stages after 2015. General Prayut stated that investments towards a health coverage scheme would benefit the country as a whole, as it would result in better living standards for the public and create security for the people. Thailand places great importance on the health of its citizens in accordance with the country's goal to achieve sustainable development. The Prime Minister said that a healthy population could help drive the country's development. He emphasized on the importance of a universal health coverage scheme, one that would be accessible to everyone. The Prime Minister said he would like to use Thailand's strength in healthcare coverage to establish the country as a hub to produce and develop medical personnel ahead of the formation of the ASEAN Economic Community. Thailand believes in cooperating with other countries, such as ASEAN member states, China, Japan, and Korea, to create a healthcare coverage network in an effort to achieve sustainable development. The Prime Minister has invited the Czech Republic to invest in the Asia-Pacific region, as well as the special economic zones on Thai borders. Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha met with the President of the Czech Republic, Milo Zeman, while attending the United Nations General Assembly in New York. The Prime Minister praised the Czech government's efforts to enhance its ties with the Asia-Pacific region and confirmed Thailand's enthusiasm to strengthen bilateral ties between the two countries. He invited the Czech Republic to invest in the special economic zones along the Thai borders as a way for the Czech Republic to participate in the Greater Mekong sub-region and the ASEAN market, as well as establish a trade center in Thailand to promote trade and tourism between the two countries. General Prayut also expressed his appreciation of the Czech Republic's Board of Sciences' cooperation with Thailand in the fields of biological technology, geology, and environmental change. The Prime Minister has discussed the possibility of furthering bilateral relations with his Fijian counterpart at the United Nations General Assembly. Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha expressed his gratitude to Fijian Prime Minister Honorable Josiah Voreke Bainimarama for extending a warm welcome to Deputy Prime Minister General Thanasak Patimaprakon during his participation in the Third Pacific Island Development Forum, where he was able to organize an exhibition on His Majesty the King's philosophy of sufficiency economy. Prime Minister Prayut has also thanked the Fijian Premier for supporting the Thai people after the Ratchaprasong bombing. The Thai leader assured that the situation in Bangkok has returned to normal. Thailand and Fiji will continue to cooperate in the area of trade and investment, as Fiji has the potential to become a distribution center of Thai goods in the Pacific region. Collaborative efforts on farm goods, tourism, and fisheries will also be established. Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha had a meeting with Tajikistan President Emomali Rahman, during which they agreed to enter rice and sugar trade deals. On the sidelines of the UN General Assembly, both leaders discussed several developments in their countries, particularly Tajikistan's interest in purchasing Thai rice and sugar. General Prayut thanked President Rahman for his interest and confirmed Thailand's readiness for the negotiations, which could be made either on a government-to-government basis or between the private sectors of both sides. General Prayut added that in order to promote bilateral trade and investment, both countries could try to optimize the conditions provided by bilateral trading mechanisms they have already signed, such as the elimination of double taxation treaty, an agreement on trade and investment promotion, the agreement on economic and academic cooperation, as well as the agreement on visa exemption for holders of diplomatic or official passports. He said Thailand would also seek to expand bilateral cooperation in fields that both countries have mutual interest, such as education, science, agriculture, water management, and narcotic suppression, and also to promote the application of the philosophy of sufficiency economy initiated by His Majesty the King. The meeting was the first between General Prayut and President Rahman since the Thai Prime Minister took office. It was also aimed at tightening the 23-year-long diplomatic relations between Thailand and Tajikistan. Deputy Prime Minister Wisanu Keruengam has revealed that on September 30th, which is today, the fact-finding committees from the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Commerce will submit their conclusion on the losses incurred from the rice pledging scheme. Mr. Wisanu said the report would be submitted to him before being sent to Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha. The Prime Minister will then consider as to whether to send it to the Civil Liability Committee, which is chaired by the Director General of the Controller General's Department, for further opinion on the debt repayment. Upon agreement, the case will be sent back to the Prime Minister so that an administrative order can be issued for the debt repayment. However, the defendants have the right to appeal. Deputy Prime Minister Somkit Jatusi-Pitak says the current export deficit is not worrisome and wants all sides to remain optimistic since Thailand remains the world's number 5 exporter. Deputy Prime Minister Somkit said the current export deficit, which stands at 5%, is not as high when compared to other countries. He stated that Thailand has a strong foundation in the export industry. However, the country needs to speed up on developing the quality of products, as some are facing difficulties competing with those from other countries. He believes the outlook of the global market will improve in the next 6 months. The Commerce Ministry is stepping up efforts to push the export sector and find new markets, which would make the 3-year continuous export deficit highly unlikely. The Fiscal Policy Office, or FPO, has affirmed that the Thai economy will expand 3% this year if export revenue for each of the remaining months is not less than $18.9 billion. FPO Director Grisada Jina Wicharana unveiled the office's latest economic projection, in which the 2015 GDP growth is estimated at about 3%. The target will, however, be met only if exports grow more than -4%, or generate an income of $18.9 billion a month or above during the remainder of the year. The FPO is scheduled to consider its GDP estimate again this October. Thai exports this year have been on the decline for 8 months in a row. In August, a contraction of 6.7% was seen, with a total export value standing at $17.7 billion. Meanwhile, the collection of value-added tax shrank 2.4%, suggesting that consumption was weakening. Private investment was also found to be simmering down, especially in construction. Despite the negative factors, Mr. Grisada reported steady expansion in Thai exports to the markets of neighboring countries, such as Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, Vietnam, and China. Moreover, the disbursement of state investment budgets is being accelerated, while the number of foreign tourists has grown 25%. The country's unemployment and inflation rates also remain low. The private sector wants regulations in the 12th National Economic and Social Development Plan to be more relaxed in order to attract more investments. Representatives from the private sector have attended a recent meeting organized by the Office of the National Economic and Social Development Board, or NESDB, to find ways to improve the Thai economy. According to NESDB Secretary General and Transport Minister Akom Term Pithiyaphaisit, the 12th plan is aimed at increasing the nation's annual economic growth by at least 6% via programs that are focused on raising household incomes, supporting farmers, and making Thailand more economically friendly. Despite the private sector support for the 12th National Economic and Social Development Plan, members of the group have expressed the need for certain restrictions to be removed in a bid to allow investors access to funds. Manufacturers should be encouraged to use technology to increase their productivity instead of relying on manpower. They further added that city planning, education, and logistics systems also needed improvements. Secretary General of the National Security Council, or NSC, Anusit Kunakon, has reported his agency's 12-month performance from October 1, 2014 to September 25, 2015. The NSC chief highlighted the 2015 to 2021 National Security Policy and Maritime Security Plans, which will be proposed to the National Council for Peace and Order and the government next week. The NSC focused its operations on defending the kingdom's interests while conforming to the government's 20-year national blueprint. It has also drafted plans to handle various possible national threats. However, the NSC chief expressed concerns over security reform, saying it directly affects the lives of Thai citizens. Mr. Anusit also mentioned the possibility of lifting the emergency decree in the 3 southern border provinces in the near future, citing improvements in several areas. Regarding the construction of fences along the Thailand-Malaysia borders, he said further discussions with the Malaysian government are needed before the project can be initiated. The Department of Special Investigation, or DSI, has accepted a total of 108 special cases in fiscal year 2015, emphasizing on the suppression of human trafficking and swindling, according to the department's announcement on its performance over the past year. According to DSI Director General Suwarna Suwarnajutha, of the 108 new cases under the DSI's responsibility in 2015, 10 cases have been forwarded to prosecutors, and investigation is still ongoing for the remaining 98 cases. Economic losses stemming from the said cases amount to some 60 billion baht. She noted that the Klongjan Credit Union defrauding case alone caused more than 10 billion baht in damage. Most of the cases under the DSI's responsibility in 2015 are related to human trafficking, intellectual property violation, corruption in the rice mortgage scheme, and defrauding of the public. A new species of grasshopper has been discovered in Phra province, right in the backyard of Majo University Phra campus. The discovery was made by a team of biologists from Majo University Phra campus and the National Science Museum, assigned to survey the biological diversity within the 800 rai of forest area situated within the university grounds. The newly discovered grasshopper, Anacedulia majopre, of the tribe Geronini, belongs to the subfamily Catantopinae, whose members are commonly called spur-throated grasshoppers. The discovery was recorded in the September 2015 issue of the journal Far Eastern Entomologist. According to Dr. Lam Thai Asanok, an instructor for the agroforestry program at Majo University Phra campus, the new type of grasshopper is flightless and feeds on decaying leaves. He said the discovery of the species demonstrated the pristine condition of the forest on the university ground. And that's the end of today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. We'll take a quick break now, but before that, let's have a look at the exchange rates and commodity prices.
To maintain a strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. Third core value: being grateful to parents and teachers.
How could you do that to me? Stop it! Huh? Don't you get it? I don't need you anymore. Enough. We're through. There's someone else in my life.
Say no to the past. Bring your own bag. Say no to plastic.
Multiple perspectives, insightful commentary on Thailand with The Insider every Sunday morning at 10:30 on NBT and NBT World.
Welcome to ASEAN, a community comprised of 10 countries, each with its unique culture and history, now unifying to bring added prosperity to the region. For centuries, each country remained independent. But now we are coming together to compete in the 21st century globalized world. ASEAN is bringing together more than 600 million citizens and a total land area of 4.4 million square kilometers, and is providing economic opportunities, trade, travel, and new educational possibilities. The combined GDP of all 10 ASEAN countries comes to a total of $2.4 trillion, which means the ASEAN entity ranks amongst the world's major economic powers. The future is here. Welcome to ASEAN, the community of opportunities. The Southeast Asia region is now becoming one.
Welcome back to Newsline. The European Association for Business and Commerce, or EABC, has suggested that Thailand adopt European technological standards, particularly in the country's construction of new rail transit systems. Deputy Prime Minister Air Chief Marshal Prachin Chantong spoke after a meeting with EABC President Rolf Dieter Daniel, confirming that European countries continue to place great importance on cooperation with Thailand and revealing the president's suggestion that Thailand adopt European technological standards, particularly in the country's construction of Thai-Chinese and Thai-Japanese rail transit systems. The standards are designed to ensure thorough development of vehicle control technology and ensure that the project is environmentally friendly. Air Chief Marshal Prajin pointed out that Thailand currently uses European standards in many of its sectors within the land, water, and air transport industry, and will soon hold a meeting with the EABC on incorporating technologies that meet European standards into Thailand's rail transit systems. Let's take a look at the international news. Iraq, the United Kingdom, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Germany, and France participated on Tuesday in a United Nations summit on combating Islamic State, saying that the fight will be long, but that the coalition against the insurgents will ultimately prevail. The United States, France, and allied countries are bombing Islamic State militants who have exploited power vacuums to seize parts of Syria and neighboring Iraq as part of a stated goal of creating an Islamic caliphate. British Prime Minister David Cameron implored Muslim leaders to condemn ISIL. Turkish Prime Minister Ahmet Davutoglu used Syria as an example of the failure to address the root cause of extremism. Saudi Arabian Foreign Minister Adel al-Jubeir condemned the violent acts of ISIL and called it a falsification of the Muslim religion. A U.S.-led multinational alliance, including Arab states, has been carrying out airstrikes against Islamic State in Syria. Western powers have also been involved in training rebel groups. German Foreign Minister Frank-Walter Steinmeier said there was an urgent need in Syria to stop the fighting within its own country and work together. French Foreign Minister Laurent Fabius said that peace and stability in Syria could not be achieved while Syrian President Bashar al-Assad remains in power. French warplanes struck their first targets in Syria over the weekend, destroying an Islamic State training camp. France was the first country to join the U.S.-led coalition in Iraq and has also provided limited logistical support to Syrian rebels it considers moderate, including Kurds. Laughter erupted during a UN meeting on the Islamic State on Tuesday when the Danish foreign minister accidentally addressed U.S. Vice President Joe Biden as Mr. President and then asked if he had any news to announce.
Vice President, sorry. Well, could have been, can be, who knows? If you have something news to tell us here, please let us know. Well, I'm pleased to announce here that the Danish government plans to fund this.
Speculation continues over a possible White House bid by Biden, who is yet to decide whether he plans to run in 2016 presidential elections. And that's it for today's edition of Newsline. For any comments or suggestions, please feel free to email us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook or visit our website at thainews.prd.go.th/en. And for today, we're going to say goodbye with a supermoon phenomenon in Chiang Mai province. I'm Surapan Lautharanarit. Thank you for your company and have a great day. สวัสดีครับ